I want to react to Russell Brand reacting to Jon Stewart on CNN. Start here.
I took a particular interest in Jon Stewart, who, let's face it, is regarded as a comedian of the left, and the way that he responded to this line of inquiry on a CNN show. Have a look.
You were talking a second ago about identifying the weak points in the guardrails of democracy. It's also obvious, and I know you've spoken about this in the past, that Donald Trump has also identified those weak points. He is now...
Every chance they get, they want to talk about Donald Trump. Donald Trump is no longer the president, and CNN loves Donald Trump.
Endorsing candidates for Secretary of State in battleground states, candidates who are all in on the big...
There's only one reason CNN loves Donald Trump. It's because CNN makes money talking about Donald Trump. It's the only thing they got. Nobody wants to talk about Joe Biden being sleepy. It's boring.
Lie in Arizona.
I think we make a mistake focusing this all on Donald Trump as though he's, I don't know, Magneto and some incredible supervillain that has changed the very nature and temperature of the United States. Like, he's just been an effective vessel. But again, like, he's not singing new songs. I think it's a mistake.
He's not singing new songs. So you see, this is the deal, right? We love to villainize people, or our media loves to villainize people, that in turn makes us rabidly angry. But it's nothing different. It's nothing different. Russell Brand talks about why, however, Donald Trump is popular. So let's watch that.
Is also important about what Jon Stewart seems to be indicating is that there's an infatuation with reductivism and simplification in the type of media that we often critique on this channel, of just saying, oh, this individual's really bad. If you get rid of this individual, everything will be okay. Never acknowledging that this individual's popularity is based on something, and it's based, in my opinion, on the deficit of order and clear objectives around helping ordinary Americans.
Helping ordinary Americans. That is what he focused on. I'm not saying he did it, but I am saying he focused on it.
From the more socially inclined party, the Democrats.
The Democrats are supposed to be the guy doing that, but they're not.
Like where I feel much of the fault lies. And that I feel that populism, and a particular kind of nationalist populism, can only really rise when people don't feel like their lives are being taken care of, that they're...
So there you go. Understand that. Donald Trump came to power because people are not happy with their lives in America.
Voices are being heard, that anyone cares about them, and that there's just a phoniness in politics, that there's a cronyism that dominates politics, that the Democrat Party is in league with big pharma and big tech, and even though the Republican Party is the party of business, well, you can trust them, they've got values, whatever. For me, broadening that conversation out, inviting some nuance into that conversation is absolutely vital. I don't register now,
All right, so what's happening here is Russell Brand is being nuanced, and nuanced does not sell views on CNN. People love to hate Donald Trump, okay? And that's what they focus on. But I'm here to tell you, if you actually really want to make change, you have to get beyond Donald Trump. Here is a discussion on Trump being the best thing that ever happened to CNN.
They absolutely require him and need him. The heyday, the purple patch, the biggest boon in CNN's history coincided with the presidency and tenure of Donald Trump, and all of their most successful content is them attacking or criticizing Donald Trump. Donald Trump to them,
best thing that ever happened to CNN was Donald Trump.
Is like a lover that they had amazing sex with, but they absolutely cannot stand. I hate you, Donald, but when you kiss me, I go weak at the knees, baby.
So you have to understand that you're being manipulated because it's selling. You're watching it. You're being manipulated. Here he talks about what the real issue is.
But could you talk about Donald Trump anyway?
Unless we can figure out a better way to balance that power for, you know, for workers and voters and different groups.
Look at the face of the interviewer. He's like, this is not going the way I wanted it to go. That's not it. This isn't the conversation. I just wanted Jon Stewart to say Donald Trump is a terrible human being.
We'll be vulnerable.
No, John, you're talking about power in a complex way now, and in a way that doesn't have a cartoonish figure at the front of it that I can criticize and get those precious likes. So, again, Donald Trump. Well,
do you see how you're being played? Here is a conversation about autocracy happening on both sides.
I don't know that autocracy is purely the domain of Donald Trump. I think that we all have a bit of a tendency to be like, to grant amnesty to people that are doing things that we would prefer, even if that means that they're slightly undemocratic.
It's funny as well because we've cut the clips just for Jon Stewart's bits. The guy's just the whole time just looking like someone really disappointed that no one's talking about Donald Trump. Like,
it's true. It's true. Here, I want you to watch Russell talking about considering before, during, and after Donald Trump.
the era that preceded Trump, Trump himself and his administration, and the post-Trump era. Before Trump, Trump, after Trump. Look at it as one kind of continuum, one phenomena. On an institutional and financial level, no one was doing anything. No one's offering any vision. No one's talking to blue-collar Americans. No one's doing anything other than insignificant gestures to sort of release little valves of social tension without changing the systemic corruption that exists throughout American and indeed British and indeed perhaps global politics. Why did a figure like Trump arise? If you go back and watch again, Trump doing them primaries on Fox, he's hilarious. He's funny, he's quick, he's authentic, he's talking like a real normal person. It's no wonder that people connected with him. No wonder. If you can't see that, you don't know much about politics and you don't know much about entertainment.
That's what you need to understand is Donald Trump understands entertainment. He understands how to engage with people. And this is quite honestly something that liberals need to figure out because they just keep throwing up these bullshit politicians that are boring, dry, and old. Here's what Russell thinks we should be doing.
I think we need decentralized power where you run your own life, where you don't need a Trump or a Biden or a Kennedy or anybody, because you run your own lives. You vote for yourself, believe in yourself. These things are possible. They're at least as possible as the chaos we're living in right now.
So it sounds a little bit libertarian. I'm not an expert on Russell Brand. I've just started following him, but I know that sometimes I can share things with you that you haven't seen. I highly recommend checking out more of Russell Brand. My theory is, so if his view is libertarian, my view is local. We can make these changes on a local level. Local government creates the biggest impact in our day-to-day lives. And if we can get these kinds of politicians that represent the people in government locally, we can have massive influence. And I think the world's ripe for it. I think with digital media and the way we can communicate in very powerful ways that have never been possible before through, through video and writing and Instagram and pictures, we have an amazing opportunity to radically change local government, which then potentially can change all of government. It can change the world. But trying to change at the national level is incredibly difficult, and you end up getting really contorted things, which I think ultimately is what the problem with Donald Trump was, that he was touching on some sort of populism that was really powerful, but he is an entertainer billionaire or whatever that has his own problems, big problems. And so he was never really focused on the people. He just understood how to talk to the people. But I do think a guy like Russell Brand, for example, this kind of guy knows how to talk to the people. He's got the Donald Trump understanding of entertainment, but then carries along with him the understanding of what real populism is. And so I would like to see more people like Russell Brand and these types of actors come out and start running for office. And I don't know if he would do that. I don't know what Russell Brand's position on that is. But I do know that we need, as an entire world, we need more populism. We need more politicians that are standing up for the people and not their financial backers, which is ultimately what is happening with the Democrats. I mean, one of the first things Joe Biden did was come in and shut off that pipeline. And that is a complicated topic, man, but it was just some promise he made to somebody. I guarantee it. And it was just super easy to do. He could go in and shut off that pipeline and pay off whoever he promised whatever to. But he didn't promise it to the people. That wasn't what the people wanted. It was just out of left field. Like, hey, I'm now Joe Biden. No more pipeline. Stop that pipeline. It's just so weird. But it's not weird when you realize that he's tied into corporate interests first. They're all tied into corporate interests first, which honestly was not what I don't think Donald Trump was. I mean, Donald Trump was tied into his own interests, which was being president. That was what he wanted, or he wanted the power, he wanted the glory. I think he kind of liked being president after a while. Obviously, he's going to try and run again, but I think it was a little bumpy ride becoming president, but then he realized the trappings of being president. He's like, oh, this is pretty freaking sweet, man. I don't have to pay for the gas on this 747 or whatever he had, And so he mothballed his own 747. He's like, I'm just flying around on, Air Force One, baby. Free gas. I love it. So populism and local government. That's where I think it is. But listen more to Russell Brand. See what he has to say. Think for yourself. Stop having CNN tell you what to believe. If you get excited, if you're talking about a topic on CNN, you're being played. You're being played. That's all. Because CNN is telling you what to believe. Same with Fox News. Or whatever you're listening to. If you're starting to chant about critical race theory, even though you don't know what the hell critical race theory is, you're being played. You're being played. Think for yourself, people.